Hello, everyone. Welcome back to OTD Military History. Just want to do a quick stream today, discussing some thoughts I've had based on some recent comments I've received and comments that I've received for quite a long time, and a fair number of them. A lot of them I usually just block or delete because they're usually, or I don't even see them because they've been blocked automatically by the system because of the language used. But the overall point I want to make today is don't use veterans or war dead for your own ends. That often takes the form of political ends that I often see, using war dead or veterans to like make a point politically, saying they wouldn't support this, that, or the other thing. Same with the dead. To me, it's just in bad taste to begin with, especially with, well, any group really, war dead, veterans, anybody, to say that, use them for your own points, particularly, nasty ones about, hating groups or hating on people, and, therefore should be limiting rights because of certain things and all of that stuff. So, I mean, that's just should be a no-brainer or a basic at these days, but we're well past that, I think, in today's Western society anyway. So I've had quite a few examples of these all over the place, and I just want to show a few of them that only took me a few minutes to find for some older stuff. So it's some of it's just, it's sad in the sense. I mean, this all comes from, and you can see there on the right-hand side, these are from the same video, which the bigger point is people use anything for that end. For veterans, and you can see here this first one says about America, and then the bottom one says about Canada. There's ones about Britain. There'll be one coming later as well, about how these veterans in this video, this is that famous footage of the North Shore Regiment coming ashore on D-Day, would feel about things. Like we know only one person who was on that boat confirmed. I don't even think he knew he was the subject of this famous footage. So how could we possibly know what any of them are thinking? But anyway, you see that a lot. I see this one a lot applied to this one and some others, especially this footage video, because it's quite popular still. So it gets a lot of attention, and then it's just sad that these people are trying to use these points about being these supposed ultra patriots or whatever of their country, and they don't even know what their own troops in World War II look like. So that's an interesting one as well. People have said these are Americans. People think these are Brits. They're clearly Canadians. So I think that's just an interesting point to make, is these people are supposedly weeping for the country or the country of the past, and they don't even know what that even looks like. So I think that's more sad than anything. This one came up recently. This one was like yesterday. Same thing. So he did. Yes, this is the footage where the we think possibly an officer or an older, maybe NCO, because he's wearing a wedding ring. Again, that's all we really have to go off of, is patting the other soldier up on the back. George Baker, who survived up until 2007, I believe. It's Juno Beach. I've had videos on this. Literally, it was there at very low tide. And I think it was literally at the exact spot where they got off. So this is very much Juno. That building you can even see very vaguely in the background there is still there. Anyway, so this one was from yesterday, yesterday, day before. And this guy says, and they did this all for freedom and the British way of life. I'm so ashamed to be British now because of what the United Kingdom has become. These heroes will be disgusted, just saying, with a little tear emoji. These are Canadians, like I just said. And then this guy, I pointed that out, saying these are Canadians. You have no idea what any of them could possibly think. And then he proceeded to insult me and say I have no idea what I'm talking about, or I shouldn't be commenting on things that have nothing to do with me, even though this is my video on my channel. I didn't understand that one. And then he just goes on to insult me over and over again. So this is the life of YouTube. So that's just a point there. He's been confused from many nationalities. People are using this to decry some sort of way of life or something. I don't really know what any of that means, to be honest. But I see this time and time again. So I'm just trying to get this as a general point out there. I know those who will probably be watching live know these things, but hoping maybe some people watch this later and maybe take it to heart, even see the title and stop and think about what they do when they do this. It's in really poor taste, in my opinion. And they keep going. This another one, no wokies in that boat, whatever that even means. I have no idea. Not a clue what any of that means. I just thought that was an interesting one to include in there because I don't even know what that means. Now this one is particularly bad for, I think, for a couple reasons. So this one is from, it's from the memorial garden at the Abbaye d'Ardenne, talking about those who were killed, and I read their names there in this video. It was a short talking about them, and this person is using it to go after current Canadian Prime Minister Trudeau, saying that these troops in particular are rolling in their graves because of Trudeau. I don't even know what that could possibly mean, that that these individuals specifically were against anything of any particular sort. And to me, that's just bonkers that you can think these things, that at all what any of them were thinking. It just doesn't make any sense. And then to even use, and I see it again for videos I've done on cemeteries and like at Benny or Bretville or just those who've passed in general. I've seen this a lot, particularly going after certain individuals and politics and everything like that. So I just try to make this stand on my channel if there's no culture war stuff allowed. I try to even just remove it if possible, or this kind of thing. I just think it's highly inappropriate and should not be done at all, and should not be used for political ends or anything like that. And that, because that's the bigger point of this is just highly disrespectful, in my opinion. But also, you have no idea. Most of us would have no idea what any of these people were thinking, particularly those who died and left us hardly any writings. How could we possibly know what they were thinking on any particular topic? It's mind blowing to me that people think this. And Pat, I don't know if he's still here, but he, hit this on the mark. And what I was trying to say here is people try to present veterans, particularly Allied veterans or those in Canada, United States, and Britain specifically, as this some sort of monolith for some reason. Well, I know why, because they want to push a certain angle for politics or cultural war reasons or whatever. But this, hits it on the head. Some were gay, pacifists, socialists, some were fascists. Some outlaw motorcycle clubs. Yeah, the Hells Angels, founded by World War II veterans. And some flew drugs into the U.S. on C-47s. Like, it's just, they were doing all kinds of things. Like, they were across all kinds of spectrums and thoughts and everything like that. So, just don't do it, because it's disrespectful to, use dead for your own ends or to assume what people are going to say. Thanks, Terry. I appreciate that for jumping on. I don't want to stay on too long either. I want to keep this short and sweet so people will watch. But thank you for that. I appreciate that. And the support of the channel. Thank you. That's the bigger point, is these allied armies are composed of millions of people from all walks of life at the time, and socioeconomic statuses, races, orientations, identities, languages, locations, anything and everything you can think of. These people are a part of this. This is a massive war with millions involved, and to say that this group is all thinking the same thing is disrespectful to me, in my opinion, because it just hits the same things over and over again, that people are making the same, that you can think all these people think the same. It's just not how that goes with any group. And then to use this group, especially when we're rapidly losing the lasts of the veterans, is another problem. So we're gonna, I think, see more of this before we see less of what's going on with this. So people saying veterans think this, that, and the other thing, when they shouldn't be doing that. So to me, it's highly disrespectful and not something that should be done on the regular. And also to use the war dead of those who say died at 18 and could barely probably even have an opinion on so many things and say this is what they think. It's not how this goes. So that's just a bigger point I wanted to make. And also, people change their minds. That's another one I really want people to keep in mind. Sorry, 1 second here. Okay. Sorry, I have to run. Something's happening, but I have to go. But so keep that in mind. Bigger point, don't use veterans for anything cultural war, politics, and that kind of thing. Okay, so just keep that in mind and try to pass that message along as well. So everything other than that, thank you for watching and hearing my points and seeing some of the things I deal with on this channel. Okay, bye everyone.